Hey everyone, how's everybody doing out there?
I'm killing shit.
You all having a good Halloween season?
Better be. This is the greatest season ever.
And we definitely can't have Halloween without a good zombie flick, isn't that right, Uncle Bill?
That is true.
And if you've seen all the Romero zombie films a million times, we recommend
Return
of the Living Dead. Yeah. It's one of Aaron Ramsey's favorite zombie movies.
I'm Ed Ramsey. I love Return of the Living Dead.
This is an all-time classic, and I feel even like a little silly reviewing it because
if you haven't seen the damn thing, then you're just not really a horror fan.
Yeah,
it's weird because
yeah, I mean, but the cool thing is it is the new collector's edition. You know, it does have a ton of awesome, ultra fabulous extras on it. But first of all, let's talk about the movie, Uncle Bill.
Well, let's go back in time a little bit here to 1985 when things were killer. Back in those days,
classic year.
Back in those days, you had everything going on. You had metal was killer,
He-Man,
punk was killer, television was killer.
You loved My Little Pony, didn't you?
Yeah, and Care Bears and Pound Puppies. All that shit was awesome. And so Dan O'Bannon got together with a couple of the original guys that wrote Night of the Living Dead with George Romero, and they decided to kind of update Romero's vision of zombie films and try to put a new spin on them. So they came out with Return of the Living Dead, which completely changed all the rules for zombies. In this film, you've got a couple of workers that are working at the Unita Medical Supply place who slap a canister that has trioxin in it, which is a substance used by the Army apparently to
4, 3, 2, 1, 2, trioxin or something.
Reanimate the dead.
3, 2, 4, 1.
And so when they slap the canister, the gas spills out all over the place and turns them into the living dead. And in the process,
and you hear some awesome music.
Yeah, so you got all that, and
that movie's awesome.
all the people who are at the medical supply place, all the bodies start to come back to life. And one of the cool things about it is the Tarman zombie is one of. If you've ever seen this film, you know what I'm talking about. Is one of the zombies that's in the basement that comes to life, and so basically they're trying to get rid of all these bodies, and they end up burning them at a crematorium run by Don Caffa, who, by the way, is also, I believe, Bernie.
Ernie, I'm sorry. There's characters Bert and Ernie, and that evidently is just a coincidence, by the way, which I didn't think.
Yeah, you would have never really thought that.
I never thought that, especially during the time it was made.
So anyway, they burn the corpse to the crematorium. It releases smoke into the air that causes a big rainstorm, and all these punk kids that are out partying in a cemetery,
including a very naked Linnea Quigley,
and a very hot Jewel Shepard, and a very awesome Beverly Randolph, and we could just go on and on, are all partying in the cemetery, and it causes the dead to come back to life, and they want brains. So that's your basic story. How they deal with it, you can't shoot these in the head, they don't die like normal zombies.
Yeah, I think that this film, though, was at the height of makeup effects and just using, practical makeup effects to its high standards, I think. This is probably the best makeup effects zombie movie out there. I know a lot of people talk about Day of the Dead, and that's right there with it, no doubt. But I think that this movie, and oddly enough, those movies were made in the same year. So,
and Return of the Living Dead kicked the dog shit out of Day of the Dead at the box office.
But to me, like, some of the effects in this movie is just phenomenal, to say the least. I know there's the half blonde zombie that is like a giant puppet that they use for one scene that looks amazing still to this day. And the Tar Man, which is probably the most well-known zombie from the movie itself, still to this day looks great, I think.
Yeah, and the big thing with this film is that it didn't try to be a serious zombie film. Like Romero's films were always serious. Even in Dawn of the Dead, where there was some humor, it was always a kind of a backseat type of humor. It wasn't pervasive through the film. Return of the Living Dead is like a dark comedy / horror film. James Karen and Tom Matthews, who play, two of the leads in the film, are really playing it like a comedy duo throughout the entire film.
James Karen does a great job in this movie. He is hilarious, overacting. He knows exactly how to overact. I'll say that, and it works perfectly. It's a great little movie, and it's awesome to know that they finally gave this movie some of the credit that it deserves as far as actually putting some decent extras on the DVD. I know the original DVD, which came out 4 or 5 years ago. Didn't have much on it.
One of the first DVDs to come out, it was a MGM, kind of bare bones release. All it had on it was audio commentary with William Stout and director Dan O'Bannon, which is also on this version. But this version actually has a cast commentary on it. It has Don Caffa, Beverly Randolph, Linnea Quigley, Brian Peck, and I believe William Stout and maybe one other guy that I can't remember. But it's also got some featurettes on it.
Yeah, you've got about a 20-minute featurette with pretty much the entire cast of the movie. They talk about, briefly. Some of these people I think are too brief, like Tom Matthews and James Caron.
Well, Clu Gulager was in it, and he seemed to be talking forever, but they cut a lot of his parts out, it seemed like, so I don't know.
And then there's a Decade of Darkness featurette, which is basically showcasing a lot of MGM's horror films they have in their catalog and all of that. And also on here, though, you have zombie subtitles for the movie and a Designing the Dead featurette. So it's a large amount of extras on here. I'd say probably about a couple of hours of extras total, not including the commentaries.
You have to understand this is the addition of this movie to have if you're a fan of the movie, because MGM and Fox are not well known for releasing like huge Ultimate Edition DVDs or anything like that. So this will probably be the only one that comes out for a long ass time.
And one of the coolest things about this little DVD right here is the cover of it fucking glows in the dark.
It does. It glows.
You want us to demonstrate for you?
I think we should show, because that'd be the only way you really get the full impact.
Hang on, I'm going to turn the lights off and I'll give you the DVD.
He'll be right back. He's a little bit gay.
I couldn't have nice.
All right, let's take a look at the glow-in-the-dark version of Return of the Living Dead.
Shall we? Look at this shit. Oh, God, it glows.
It's fucking glowing in the dark over here.
Tonight.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
There you go. What do you think of that? It glows in the dark.
Yeah, so not only is it an awesome DVD, but it can also be used as a small lantern if you're going to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
A very small lantern.
Yeah.
If you could take a 5-minute dump, it'd be good for you. So, yeah, that's Return of the Living Dead, the Collector's Edition. Check it out. Now, available now from MGM.
If you've honestly never seen this film,
you're stupid.
Yeah, this is one of the best.
You're not a horror fan.
One of the best zombie films to come out in the 80s. Probably one of the best zombie films to ever come out. Pick it up right now.
It's Return of the Living Dead from MGM. And check us out over at DEADPIT.com.